Girl, you've learned that people-pleasing doesn't work. You have a purpose, a plan to achieve, and a point time for your passion projects. You finally value your thoughts and ideas. Now you're putting them into action. Mom guilt is in a box where it belongs. You care for those who need you completely, except that you've made yourself a priority too. Being creative and focused helps you get your zest for life. You, my friend, you think enriched. Hey, welcome to Think Enriched. I'm your host, Amy Robles. So excited to have you back to really start where you can see how we've been talking about money, really getting the finances in order, really taking care of ourselves and moving forward in this natural progression. The next step, and this is what I've been wanting to focus on, really give my attention and 100% to you, is all about how you can create, establish, and live this life of having your own thriving business that still supports you to put your family first or travel first or whatever that top priority is. Make that the top priority and still have your business running, thriving, progressing. Over the holidays, I had time to spend with family and loved ones, and the conversation just kept coming up of, yeah, Amy, I like what you're doing. I really see how things are going well, but I have no idea how to build a business. I wouldn't even know where to start. So what do I do? Just, I don't know, get on Blogspot? And I just cringed and I just thought, oh, that's not the way. So I just sat down and gone through just the piece by piece, laid it out that if you haven't had any sort of business experience, if you're not sure, we're going to go through episode by episode, all of the different components to really build your business. We're going to create this in a way where the business is working for you, where your life comes first. A little bit about me is I wake up and take care of my daughter and my family in the morning. And then while she's at school, then I have this prime time to just focus on my business. And what I was noticing is because I was home during the day, I work from home, that people would think, oh, well, can you just do this one little errand? Oh, can you just watch my kid? And I had to get to the point where I take myself very, very seriously as a business person. And this is my working hours. I am not available to help. And once I did that, then that's when my business really started to thrive. And what I can see is, as women, as people who are out serving, giving in the community, that our free time can look like available time that others can take from us. So the real secret to becoming a successful businesswoman, to creating all of these different components of your life, putting it into something that works for you, is very first, take yourself seriously and decide to become a businesswoman. We'll talk about all that and more on this episode of Think Enriched. Get that in your purse. The one tool that I keep recommending over and over is the Passion Planner. Have you seen it? If you go to passionplanner.com, and it's really a way to not only set your goals, but put them into daily actions and have the evaluation, have the accountability of what you're doing. I love this tool. In the back, I have my notes. I have a goal to read 100 business books this year. And by reading, I either listen on Audible or I actually go to the library, check out the books, find them on Kindle, and read. And so I'm keeping track of my books that I've read and a couple of other goals. I'm writing everything, the components down, and it's really helped me stay focused and on track. When you use the code AROBLES10, you'll receive 10% off your purchase. That's passionplanner.com using the code AROBLES10 and receive 10% off. Get that in your purse. Speak the lingo. Speak the lingo of leadership. The word that we're talking about today is learn. And there is so much that you have learned running a family, running your life, being successful in what it is you do every single day. All of that is experience that you can use to actually help you in your next business endeavor. I keep thinking of that movie, oh my word, that beautiful movie, Hidden Figures, those three powerful women who didn't have the opportunities that everyone else had in such a crazy time in history. And no spoilers, but man, those women were incredible. So inspiring. And you saw the one woman, she had to get a book to learn a skill that wasn't even being taught. And because she did that, she was able to help so many other women. That's where we're at right now. We're on this edge of you can create exactly what you want to create. That business can be yours, but only if you're taking the time to learn. One of the best ways for me to be learning right now has been listening to audiobooks as I'm driving. So in the car, as I take my daughter to school, we listen to Lisa Nichols' No Matter What. And she's talking about how in this swimming competition that winners never quit, quitters never win. Winners never quit, quitters never win. Winners never quit, quitters never win. And she's saying that to herself in the mind in the pool. And my little girl, my 5-year-old, is just like, oh, that's really cool, Mom. And catching on to that and just seeing how those little learning components not only are helping me get better in my business and helping and giving the motivation and the inspiration that I want to give to you as my audience, but it's also helping my daughter. That's something that I really highly recommend. Find one way to incorporate more learning into your life. Today's focus is one that really has stuck out in my mind. I told you earlier in the program that I have time at home where I'm actually able to work on my business and do what I need to do in that time. And I hadn't been setting up my time properly. So I was doing this errand for this friend or doing this little project that just had to be done and blah, 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 and getting distracted. And especially in entrepreneurship, especially when you are the one running the boat, when you are completely in charge, you can easily justify it to yourself. Look, I just got to finish this one little thing. It's this thing. And I've had days where, okay, I'm working on this. And right in the middle, I thought, oh, we should probably pay the bills. And it's just going through and clicking online and making sure all the bills are paid. But why did that pop up in the middle? It might be some sort of procrastination. It might be some sort of distraction that just one of those things that needs to be done. But really what it comes down to is always the fear. You are a very successful woman. You help so many people. You are doing so much good in the world. And to stand up and to say to the rest of the world, I'm a businesswoman now. I'm going to make this a business. You can almost hear all the questions. Your spouse saying, what? Why? What is this you want to do? Or your cousins or the sister-in-law or the judgmental family member that's like, are you really? Are you really going to do that? Nice. Good for you. All of those voices, there will always be those voices in life. And what I had to learn for myself is, as soon as I decided to take myself seriously, as soon as I made this business a priority, as soon as I very first made that commitment, not to the world, not to anybody else, but to me, to myself, every appointment internally, then all of a sudden things started to change. And we always hear that you teach people how to treat you. And that's true in your relationships. And that's very, very true in your business relationships. And so as I was thinking about this overall, it's amazing to see the progress that has happened. You are right now, and maybe you're not even sure what the business is going to be. You can just see this component of it. You can see helping people in this capacity. You have this product that you use at home that you love, and you would love to help other people understand and appreciate and use it because it would really help their lives. But the very first step is to commit. And then once you commit to yourself and you start and do these little tiny steps, then that builds courage. This courage is what gets you to the next step. And just a little bit of courage, day by day, just baby steps, just learning and going through the process. All of that courage, after a while, you look at this body of work that you've done just by sheer courage and commitment, and you realize your capability and what you can accomplish. All of those different components, all of the different elements of the business that you're able to drive the bus, you're able to see the end of the light, the big picture as well as the day by day, that sort of thing. That leads to your confidence. And once you have confidence, you know you're capable, you have the courage to talk to other people about it, you are completely committed and other people will commit to you. That is the process to have any sort of breakthrough. I've heard this kind of in passing a few years ago, and then you hear it again. And then just this past week in my mastermind, a friend brought it up and I really could not get it out of my mind. And so I did some research, and Dan Sullivan explains it so beautifully on a video. I'm going to have a link to that video in the show notes. Take a few minutes, go through, see what he's talking about. Because you'll see at different times in life that whatever new project it is, maybe you're going to run a triathlon this year. And you can tell I don't run a triathlon because I just said run. You're going to do a triathlon this year. Well, then you have to commit to the goal way before you're ever able to swim that far, way before you have the ability, but you have to get your body stronger, and it all starts with the commitment internally. And you can see how all of this is part of how you think enriched. You decide the focus of your life. This is what is so exciting to me about this business, is that as I'm teaching more, I'm learning more, it's taking me to the next level and moving forward in progression. And I think that's exactly the way it should be. If you have a question about business, if there's something you think, this might be a really cool business model, I'm not sure how this would work, send me an email. Don't even think about it. Go to your inbox right now, Amy, AMY, at thinkenriched.com, and send it to me. Let's talk about it. What's working for you? What is your fear that you're really concerned about? This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm helping people progress and grow their own business models and what I want to do. We are just getting started. There are so many different elements to this, and I can't wait to dig in deeper. Hey, thanks for taking the time. It's so good to be back. We've got so much more coming. I'll talk to you soon.